Hey guys, Stephen, Tony and Gary from GheyForGames here, and today we have finally got you guys the Demon Souls run without dying. So, I've got Tony and Gary here with me, as I said. So Gary, you did the run.
I did do the run, and it feels amazing.
Gary, our resident Demon Souls player who, despite being unbelievably retarded, still managed to do this.
Well, like after months. After no months.
Like a month
weeks,
and a half.
A good few weeks.
And probably 15 attempts.
Give or take.
Four good attempts where I got like through the game.
I gave it like 3 attempts or something like that.
Aye.
But I'm shit at Demon Souls and I'm good at parrying, that's it.
No, yeah. I'm not the best at the game. I just know.
That's something I noticed in this actually. You had your parries down for the armoured cunts with the longswords in the tutorial level. You had the blue-eyed demons, mad soldier cunts.
Just because think how many times I'd done it.
Yeah, you had your parries down for that. But yeah, we should probably talk about the build. So Tony, you were like the main buildsmith. So
okay, so we knew that.
Yeah, here parries are down, man. Perfect. Well,
we knew that reducing risks was the main purpose of if you're trying to do a deathless run of these games. You need to completely get rid of any risky maneuvers, and as magic is broke as shit in this game, so we're obviously we're using like a magic based build, and warding is the most
insane
bullshit thing in the game.
70% damage reduction.
So that's what we went with. The build was get warding as soon as possible, and in fact, could you get the thing over there and I can explain it? Okay, so the final equipment was a dark silver shield with the crescent falchion.
I think we got the falchion at least +2 or 3.
It's +3 entered them.
Yeah, it would have been +3 because it was the same as the dragon sword.
Now, before we go on, if anybody mentions about the obligatory death that you have to go through to continue the game for the dragon, you can just leave right now and just fuck off, because it just happens regardless.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be hell of impressed if you can put up a Demon Souls run where you actually don't die.
Yeah, the first encounter with the dragon god.
And by the way, skipping the journey to the Nexus doesn't fucking count either.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you can fight any optional boss.
This is the full game. This is 100%. This is every boss in the game, including that fucking Vanguard guy as well. Twice. Yeah, you're right. 2 Vanguards we killed. Get on our skill levels. But anyway, so the build, as Tony said, we went for magic. We're all looking to reduce risk. Magic is potent. It's broken as shit. Why not fucking use that? And of course, we had the Crescent Falchion as one of the final weapons due to the fact that it gave us decent enough mana regen. It was a passive ability. It didn't hurt to have it. Didn't help to have it really that much.
Yeah, so
I mean, it could have helped here and then. We probably just didn't notice it. But
through most of the game we had the Adjudicator shield. So we were using the Adjudicator shield, the Regenerators ring, the Crescent Falchion, and the Fragrant ring. So we got mana and health regen. As little as they are, it helps.
The sword as well gives you the regen.
Yeah, the Crescent Falchion gives you the regen as well.
So another thing to mention.
That was actually one thing I want to point out here. Because we've done a deathless run, we actually managed to use whatever ring combination we want. I mean, a lot of people that play Demon Souls, it's usually always Cling Ring, it's always Thief Ring.
Yeah.
But because we didn't die, we had no use for the Cling Ring, and did you use the Thief Ring even that much?
Used the Thief Ring.
I'll
use it in the areas that pose the most risk.
Actually,
to the scene.
The area where it's most useful is 4-2, but it becomes really, really, really handy in the Storm King fight, which you'll see later on. It means the mana ray things actually don't see you. They're not aggroed as much as they are. So when you're just warding, you don't have to run behind that small house that's there. You just go on about your business. And
that's pretty cool. Well, one of the things that I really liked about the Thief Ring is that in the Valley of Defilement, those giant infested, the ones with the giant clubs, it's the best thing to have for them, because it's better just to avoid them, because they are ridiculous in that swamp marsh. But anyway, continue.
So another thing is that we knew that the Man-Eaters boss was going to cause a huge problem for us.
As it did.
Yep.
So to get through the Man-Eaters, what we done is we decided to use Firestorm, which was ended up being a great option. So this meant that by the time we done Man-Eaters, we had to have 30 intelligence.
Yep, so we had enough for warding and Firestorm.
But not only that.
Slots.
So yeah, we need warding and Firestorm. But on your way to the Man-Eaters, you encounter one of the Octopus Magician Red Phantoms.
Cthulhu's, the wardens.
And if they're wondering what I'm doing at this bit, this was me purely saying, Tony, watch me beat this guy, and then Tony goes, it's too much of a risk, and I go, you're right, it is too much of a risk. So when we walk back out, he's glitched into the
He's
water.
got a pike. He's got a pike.
I know.
Yeah.
Swords are for losers. That cunt's got a fucking pike.
But as you just seen there, Flame, if you do want to take him a 1v1, you just have to run away, get the fee string beforehand, and just run away, keep coming back, and when he's walking away, just keep using Flame Toss, because you start off as a magician anyway.
It'll be pretty arduous, but you can do it. It'll take you a while.
You can do it, and it means you can go and get that extra like soul packet that's there anyway.
Or you could just run around past them like I usually do.
But then it means you get a soul packet, and it can be a pain. Do you know what I mean?
But anyway, so we were talking about the intelligence had to be
at 30.
At 30, so we had 6 spell slots. But on the way to the man-eaters, we had to take on a couple of the Red Phantom versions of the Wardens from the Latria prisons, and of
these
course
proved a gigantic problem in the fact that Firestorm can't go upstairs, and if you get
pathway
close
is
to
upstairs, and as soon as you get close, they stun you, and then they beat the shit out of you, and they do loads of damage because they're Red Phantom versions, and that was obviously
so to get past this.
Danger. There's a huge exclamation mark on it. So to get past this, I had the ingenious idea, and I take full credit for it, and I don't care what anyone says. Where we used, what ring was it? I don't know.
Ring of Magical Sharpness.
The ring of Magical Sharpness.
The ring of Magical Sharpness was the ring, the nature ring.
The ring of Magical Nature.
That was it.
Is it that one?
Is it not
Whatever one gives you an extra
Magical
spell
Sharpness
slot.
actually puts your sharpness.
Whichever one gave us the extra spell slot, because then what we're able to do is we're able to have Firestorm and Warding on for the man-eaters, and
as well
then
as Flame Toss.
put the ring on. We've got Flame Toss to take out the Red Phantom Wardens, because it just makes it ridiculous. It just makes it
because you can stun them infinitely with it.
Yeah, you can stun them infinitely with it, and their spell casting takes longer than yours, so you get the hit in every time. So that does that, and then when we get to the man-eaters, all we had to do was take the ring off, and all that did was get rid of Flame Toss, and we still had Warden, we still had Firestorm for the man-eaters, and we could put back on whatever rings. Yeah. And that was pretty much all we were looking to do, but that ring helped a ton, and of course Gary as well had an insanely good idea. On you go, the silver bracelets.
Oh yeah, I was like we were trying to I knew there was something missing from the build, so doing it over and over and over and over again, we kept getting to this bit where we'd have to get the fluted set. Tony's like, we must get the fluted set, this is what we get. Stephen always reminds you get the fluted set, so you get the fluted set and you can always pick up silver bracelets. And I decided to read it because I was like, oh, well, I never knew the fucking Chris ring could give you a magic buff. So I read it and it says, obtain more souls. I don't know the percentage of souls exactly, but
20%.
When you get past that when you get to the Dragon God and you kill him, that means we didn't think we could level up so much, but we did. Yeah. Like, it was just insane.
Just going a woman is just objectively better because all the guy stuff isn't that great, but the silver bracelets are amazing.
Isn't the set where you get the Jade Ornament as well? Isn't that set better than the starting Wizard set as well?
Marginally,
just better, but it's a female only armor.
But the thing that is really bad with it is it's quite heavy. It's like 3.5 for I think for the torso.
It's like this is where I think that Dark Souls is Crimson Robes and get their like sort of their sort of inspiration from. Like this is the roots of like the Crimson set and the gold hemmed black set and that as well.
Yeah.
So what else was on the build that we did to make it?
Oh yeah, something else I noticed that's after defeating the man-eaters, I had to go through the second part of the Valley of Defilement.
Yeah, that's another thing.
So,
we left the second part and the third part of Valley to the end, along with Latria. We went through all the areas that gave us the least amount of
hassle.
Shall we say the ones that posed the least amount of environmental hazard opportunities for us to kill ourselves in.
This meant that we could level up as much as we possibly could to then take on the harder ones.
Yeah. So right here, we're taking on the Phalanx, and it's just the Phalanx is the Phalanx.
It's easy. You just go in with fire bombs, and you just go in with turpentine. And
you don't even need fire bombs if you're copying this build. Then you get flame toss. So
okay, so to point out that this
actually
video
before you go, you don't want to actually use flame toss against him. You want to save every bit of fresh spice you can because you will be leveling up quite a lot. You want to use all the fresh spice you can to get in. If you're trying not to die, use it on Vanguard and. Is it 4-1? The Shrine of Storms. You want to use it on him because then that means you can just soul arrow him to death. It's a bit spammy, but it is effective for no dying.
Yeah, you can do that, but I mean by then
more
you might have enough. You might if they're not following this, then they might have enough health in that to actually take Vanguard a 1v1. You just avoid it. But so we went a really roundabout way of doing this. The worlds we went through them in a specific order for a specific reason. Usually. We went through the 1-1 because, well, you have to do that. After 1-1 we went to 2-1. No, we went to Shrine of Storms, didn't we?
I went to 4-1.
Yeah, we went to 4-1 to Shrine of Storms to pick up the Crescent Falchion.
We also
and
pick up
Adjudicator
almost
shield.
all of the equipment for the build there.
You get that, you get the Adjudicator shield, you can get the
Regenerator
longbow
ring.
if you want that, you get the Fragrant ring, but you have to,
Regenerator ring as well,
and
do you know?
Regenerator ring, but the Fragrant ring is difficult.
Yeah, you need to swap the brass telescope.
It's just the same as Sparky.
Sparky in this game, Snuggly in Dark Souls. I do apologise.
But the thing as well that makes it really hard is you have to know the Adjudicator jump to get to the Adjudicator fight fast, which you will see in this video. And people might go, it's cheating. It's no, because it's just normal enemies that are in there. It is just...
All you really do is avoid a little bit of an inconvenience. I mean, you can go, this is unfair, you shouldn't be doing this.
It's like
that. But I mean...
If they say that I couldn't do it, I actually did it in like 4-2 when I was on the cliff sides.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna say this. If it was a speed run, no one would complain.
Exactly, so...
That's where we're...
Well, it was kind of
it's about reducing risks.
Well, it was about a speed run as well.
If it was a speed run, we would have done it in... the speed run for Dark Souls is under an hour, the world record. For Dark Souls, not for 100%, but for any percent, the speed run for Dark Souls at 50 minutes. I think Demon Souls speed run records are around about an hour. Just over an hour.
I think it's like an hour and a half actually.
Yeah, so it's about as long as this video, and this entire playthrough is 4 times sped up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Okay, so to make a point, not this entire video is not going to have commentary over it.
No, we're not going to sit here and commentate for a full hour and a half over some sped up videos, so we're going to actually leave you to enjoy some of the gameplay and the music.
In this part, this is actually for...
this is Shrine of Storms.
Yeah, this is so we can probably explain a few things here.
This is like a run that I make every single time in Demon Souls now. It's like, it doesn't matter what build I'm going for, it's just the Crescent Falchion is ridiculous to have immediately. Even for the Crescent Falchion against the Tower Knight, it takes about 6 or 7 hits to his head to kill him.
Yeah, in fact it takes 1 combo to kill it, so that's 4 hits.
Yeah, well of course, because you do the damage to his heals as well. It takes about 4 hits to his face to kill him. The Crescent Falchion is immense. In fact, you just need to run past him. You just pick it up in this area.
These black skeleton enemies are actually great for grinding, because at early game they give you like 1,000 and a bit souls. So
did you believe me?
Yeah.
1,200 souls plus as well. They're really weak to fire. So
they do not drop Sharpstone, and
they drop Bladestone.
As far as I'm aware, they can drop
Bladestone and Soul Remains. And when you get Soul Remains, honestly, like I swear, you might just go, Soul Remains. They are the most useful thing in Latria they're just amazing.
Yeah.
But I had this tactic where it was the gargoyle archers there was B1 and it would just sweep down and it would just hit you and you would obviously just fly off and there's nothing you could do about it. Then I had the idea for Soul Remains.
Yep.
Because it was the same as, I don't know what they're called, the skill things with the
Alluring skill.
Yeah, you do the thing with the boar and it walks into the fire.
Yeah, but that's like the only time in the entire game where you get alluring skills all the time. They're really useful as well. I suppose any item that you throw on the ground is useful in the Crystal Cave in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you can use the Soul Remains quite a lot in this game just to lure enemies and that into much more advantageous areas for you. So
here we are getting the Fragrant Ring.
Yeah.
That's
so
it there.
Trading with Sparky.
Oh, you have to help.
Telescope is
I can't remember his name. Oscar of Ostrava. Right, you have to help him.
Yeah, you see us do that. That's where you get the thief ring. You need to help him, and then once you talk to him, he gives you the brass telescope, and then you trade that with Sparky, and you get the Fragrant ring, which is a mana regen ring.
Yep.
Which is pretty much why we want the Crescent Falchion as well, because then we've got the Fragrant ring and the Crescent Falchion stacking our mana per second, which is amazing.
So this original build that we used, actually we used the Colleague instead of the Crescent Falchion, but the reason we went back to the Crescent Falchion was simply because the Colleague then took too much time and effort to gather all the resources.
And it cost a hell of a lot as well.
Yeah. Also one off again.
In Demon Souls, souls are far fewer than they are in Dark Souls, and they're worth far more as well. And so like it costs you like 600 souls to upgrade your weapon each time, but that's a good probably 10 minutes of grinding to get 600 souls in some areas.
Yeah.
So it is, whereas you could go into any area in Dark Souls, you can go into any area in Dark Souls and you can kill one enemy and get that.
Oh, there you go. Adjudicator shield.
You can't do that, but yeah, Adjudicator shield just for the health regen.
Something else I'm going to say as well is it keeps the dogs off you as well. Like when the wolves run at you, and usually they'll just break your stamina down bit by bit if you're using like the.
Yep, Adjudicator shield's a great shield. Does get really good guard break reduction.
One other thing as well is I actually forgot what I was going to say. Or
stability for the Dark Souls players that may be watching this. But
the build was pretty perfect. But the whole you're better going a woman.
Yeah, you would be for a Deathless run. You would be just due to the silver bracelets mainly, because that extra 20% soul gain is amazing. What level did we project that this build would be when we completed the game? About level 70 odds, was it?
I think I got 72.
Yeah,
I think it was projected like level 72. Was like before? Was that before the silver bracelet?
No,
that was the
after
jump.
the silver bracelet. We're talking about. We were projecting us winning. We were projecting us beating the game at about level 65.
Right, guys, that there was the jump there to get the regenerator ring, and also
don't believe what you read
Don't
online.
lure him out, because it turns out they can walk across beams.
Yeah, there was an old rumour going around that Gary believed, like ridiculously, that these guys couldn't walk across beams. So
I made that up myself.
Did you?
Yes.
Alright, so he believed his own lies, so he's bigger out and thought, but yeah.
So we don't fight the Adjudicator right now, simply because we're under leveled at this point, and it is relatively strong. Like, he can take a good hit, and if he hits you at this point, he's gonna.
Yeah, the problem is your health's so low that you're in a constant one-hit kill range with the Adjudicator.
He isn't a hard
warding,
boss,
and we don't have warding yet.
He isn't a hard boss. You just have to stay behind his.
I mean, if you feel confident,
like the blade.
If you feel confident, then you can easily take him on the Crescent Falcon. I took him on the first time I played this game, the first area I went to after doing 1-1, I went through 4-1. I beat the Adjudicator before I even beat the fucking Tower Knight. It was just I found the Adjudicator remarkably easy. A bit like Quailag.
The one real weakness that this build has, it's not even really a weakness, but it does lack a lot in endurance. We only really went with minimal endurance, that way we could pump a lot into magic and intelligence.
It was because the build, in order to reduce our damage risk, in order to reduce our chances of death, we did have to put a lot into intelligence for warding and firestorm, and there was a lot of compromises made on the build, a lot of damage we could have had that we decided to remove for the sake of survivability and stuff like that. So, I mean, this is a Crescent Falcon, we could have put a lot more into magic and could have gave this thing loads of damage, or firestorm could have done loads of damage and everything like that, but we went more for longevity in the build as opposed to burst damage, so this is kind of what we were going for here, hence the higher vitality, really high endurance for all the mana that we're using.
Plus as well, if people think it's you need a level requirement to use spells and stuff in this game, you don't.
No, you don't.
Just in case anybody was wondering.
You just need to make sure you have enough slots to use it.
It's weird, in this game, to explain it for those of you that play Dark Souls, Faith, when you level up Faith, it increases your Faith damage, it also increases your miracle slots. When you increase your magic stat, it increases your sorcery damage, and it increases your magic resistance as well. Now here's the thing, it doesn't give you spell slots. To get spell slots and mana, you have to increase another skill known as intelligence, and that is basically this game's version of attunement. It gives you more spell slots and it gives you loads of mana, so this game runs off of mana as opposed to casting limits. So yeah, so in order to be a sorcerer, you'd have to put a good amount into intelligence to have that many spell slots, and you'd have to put a good amount into magic so that you do that much, so you do a good amount of damage. But if you're going for a cleric or a faith build or whatever, then you just have to put it all into faith, because it gave you loads of spell slot stuff, but something to intelligence to increase your mana. That basically sums up how the sort of mage system works in this game. Yeah,
as well, it's like never, like people always say like this game could be easier, it could be harder. It's like the same as Dark Souls. You never underestimate any boss, especially in this game.
Not even a boss. Never underestimate any enemy in the game. I mean, at any time enemies. I mean, if you've watched the most recent video we uploaded before this would have been the abridged episode. There's a part in that where, on the way up to Undead Burg, and I get knocked off of the what do you call those things? Big fucking waterway things. What are they called again?
Don't know. Waterway things we'll call them.
What? The bridges that the Romans used to use to carry water along. What are they fucking called again?
Oh, the aqueduct.
The aqueduct, that's it, yeah. So we're on the way up to Undead Burg, going up the stairs that lead you into the aqueduct with the rat, and one of the undead hollows knocks me off the stairs, and I fall right down to the bottom, land, and then two more hollows drop down in front of me. These are menial enemies, but that drop took away about 3/4 of my health. I had barely any health, and I had my back to a ledge to the point where if I took a single hit, then just getting hit would have knocked me back off it. So never underestimate even the simplest enemy in these games. You can't win if you're doing that. But we should probably stop the commentary soon. We should probably stop the commentary for this bit soon, because this is us just running through the worlds and that.
Yeah, but so we're going to stop the commentary just now, and in any more important bits we'll pick the commentary back up.
We'll chime in here and now. We'll chime in like every now and again, and just if there's anything important we have to mention, then of course we'll obviously let you guys know. So
we hope the music is tasteful enough for you, and we'll talk to you later on in the video.
Yep, see you guys.
Hi guys, back again, and it's just a small tip for the Fool's Idol boss fight. I noticed this thing while playing it, that the illusions can sometimes prove a bit of a difficulty for people that are like maybe using a slower build, they can't roll fast or anything like that. Maybe they have a weakness to magic or something like that, maybe they just don't like it, preferably in these games, or you get jammed in those things there as you just seen. But I figured out something. It was the one that isn't an illusion has no health bar when you lock on. So you want to hide, jump around all the big pillars, and you want to lock on. The one that doesn't have the health bar next to them, like any other enemy, as you could just see there, is in fact the
one you might hit.
Yeah, the one you might hit. And the reason I noticed that was through my own stupidity, which was someone asked me why does that one not have a health bar? I was like, oh, because it's already on the screen. And that's when I realised that's an actual thing.
It's a small flaw that they could have.
It's a small flaw, but I think it makes the fight so much easier. And
they overlooked it as a good one. And Tony, you said
not only that, the one that you're meant to hit, they'll all fire out a soul ray at you, but the one that you're meant to hit fires like a much bigger one. So.
Yeah, but if you panic like me, you won't be able to see that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's only if you're like.
Yeah, you have to have like a good vit build to notice stuff like that.
So, Fool's Idol boss fight, attack the one that doesn't have a health bar because its health bar is visible across the bottom of the screen instead, and attack the one that fires the biggest beams at you, and of course avoid the little runes that are all darted around the church. It's a pain in the ass.
And as you can see there, guys, just setting out the stuff, you've seen the silver bracelets on.
And I'm just thinking, if Pinwheel had runes, he'd be a much tougher boss.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's garbage, so never mind.
Back to the video.
Back to the video, guys.
Hey guys, another quick tip for you. When you're taking on the Dragon God, you can see that his eyes here are yellow. That means he hasn't spotted you. When his eyes go red, he can see you, and that's when he's going to attack. So what you need to do is get a pillar between him and yourself, so that when his eyes, he'll start looking around for you. His eyes are red. Once his eyes go yellow, as soon as he looks away from you, run through and of course clear the debris. Use the crushing battle axe.
You get in 2-1.
You get that in 2-1, yeah. I've heard several times online now that the crushing weapons are better for clearing debris. I've not tested it, I'm just going by what I've heard online, and it seems to work pretty fine here anyway, so yeah. Yellow eyes means just go and do whatever you need to do to get to the next stage of the level. Red eyes, hide and hope he doesn't smash you, and use a crushing weapon. That sums up the Dragon God. Go from right side first and then left side.
Guys as well,
yeah. Go to the right side first, drop down, go along the
by
left
this
side.
point as well, you're going to have Soul Ray if you're following this build. You just don't want to get near him because it's a bit of an inconvenience. Just Soul Ray him from a distance, he'll put his chin up, put it down, just time it.
Every time his chin lands, hit him with a Soul Ray and you're fine, and you get the Dragon Soul, and of course keep that because that's going to make your Firestorm, and that is what's going to pretty much carry the Man-Eaters for you, isn't it, Gary?
Yep.
Alright, so we'll come back in with another tip if we find any other relevant areas to speak about. Alright guys, chiming in with another bit of advice for you. We're going through World 1-3 right now to free Yuria the Witch. We're not going to take on the boss, but in order to do this you have to take out that fat official you just saw us killed there. He's some way through the level in 1-3 actually. You kill him to get the Iron Ring of Keys, and then proceed further on. The first fat official you've seen in the level who pulls down the gate, you have to kill him to get the official's cap. Once you get the officer's cap, you want to go back to the Tower Knight Archstone in World 1-2, just before the entrance to the Tower Knight. There's a door that you wouldn't have been able to open on the right side facing the Tower Knight. Use the Iron Ring of Keys to open that, go downstairs. Now that is where you get Biora Twin Fangs, and there's also another fat official down there. Kill him to get the bloody key, and then go back into World 1-3. You may as well probably just, go back into World 1-3. The little courtyard that has the two carts with the dogs in it. If you go straight, instead of going up to the left and up the stairs, if you go straight ahead, there'll be a little gate. Go around that way and take a right, take a left, and you'll come into a tower. Get to the top of the tower, put on the official's cap, and then the official will lower the staircase, go up, kill the official, and take off the cap, talk to Yuria. Yuria returns to the Nexus, and then you can trade the Dragon God's soul for the Firestorm.
Yeah,
and of course, there is one more tip which Gary will demonstrate. It involves this very gate right here.
Yeah, this bit here. You have to save him, because if you don't, if you want to go back and kill old King Dorian and obviously get the sword that he's protecting.
Yeah, Demon Brand or Soul Brand.
These guys here will kill him, and you have to make sure that he's fine, because if you leave,
if Oscar dies, you can't get the Mausoleum key off.
You can't get the Mausoleum key, you won't be able to do it, and then that means if you really want that, then that means your playthrough is
the
done.
entrance is just down here to the left, actually.
Well, you can see we go to it, so.
We're actually going to go through it, so like this will take you all the way back to where I'm talking about, so just here. You see the doorway, we had to use the Iron Ring of Keys, it is.
Yeah, one other tip as well is, when you go to get Yuri the Witch and the official drops the drawbridge, don't worry, he won't be aggro unless you're aggro with him.
He won't aggro until you take off the cap.
Yeah, so you just want to just backstab him, he'll fall off, and then you just go at him. And don't pick this item up here, because it just breaks the build. It's the tower shield, and you'll get one later on.
It's really good. So here's BR here, so kill the officials. Once you've killed this official, you get the bloody key, and then the rest of the guide will basically, the rest of this video will show you how to do it anyway. Go back to the World 1-3 and get Yuria with the official's cap. Remember, take the cap off to talk to her, or she will just not speak to you. So there you go, guys.
Also, if you save BR here as well, he'll help you for the Penetrator boss
fight. I
fight.
showed as well. I spoke to her with the hat on, so you know what the dialogue is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was this playthrough.
You won't see the dialogue, it's at 4x speed.
Yeah.
Basically, she's just not having any. She's not feeling any of your
There's the
mojo.
fat official.
Yeah.
So you want to take on the fat official. Once you've done that,
also,
take off
this is where you get the Ring of the Magical Nature right there.
Oh,
where I'm standing.
Yep.
You don't get it, but like, I thought it was a quit out, quit in, quit out thing. It's not that. It's you get it there with the Ring of the Accused, is it?
Yeah.
And that is it.
So there you go, guys. That's another top tip from GheyForGames.
Hey guys, GheyForGames back, and we have another like extremely massive, long, super long tip. And the super long was to actually emphasise the fact that this place is hard as fuck. Would you agree, Tony?
Yeah, it was horrible.
I'm going to chime in. This is the only time I'm going to chime in on this tip. The reason why this place was difficult for us is because a lot of the stuff in this area is incredibly like magic resistant, and this is a magic based build. Crescent Falchion deals magic damage, so it was difficult to get through the area. But Warden helped, Flame Toss helped, Firestorm helped. I mean, we had the build
Everything
had
helps.
quite a large array of utility that we could use to our benefit at any point in the game. So yeah, this was the toughest area in the game for Gary. From
It's the
a few close calls as well. Actually, we're in this level as well. Were they not?
The thing as well, you always have to be aware, like when you're crossing the bridge for the first time, you'll see the gargoyles with the red eyes. Automatically get close enough, walk up, don't run up, walk up.
Stop, look and listen before you cross the road, kiddies.
Exactly, and what you want to do is, like, when you're doing this, you have to do the 2 chains. Like, I'm different shit. But once you do the 2 chains, obviously it'll drop down, you can get to the next area. But getting to those 2 chains is a bit of a chore. It is really hard, and it provides
chains,
a lot of...
I'm going to chime in once again just because you mentioned those chains. I know why they're relevant. I know why they're in the game.
Holds up the big thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, but do you want to know why all those little guys are praying around it? They're offering their souls to it. That's why when you kill them, you get soul remains. They're offering their souls to it. Latry is a prison for people that they just hoard up all the cursed, and they make them offer their souls to hold up the chains of the thingy.
Well, you learn something new every day.
That was me watching Epic Name Bro.
There we go. We were shout out to Epic Name Bro.
Some lore in this Deathless run for you.
So I'd say the thing that makes Latry the hardest is the fact that all the platforms you're walking along are really thin beams,
oh yes, one other thing,
everywhere.
you kill Yurt, but we failed, and watch this, Stephen, come here, you have to see this. As I kill Yurt, his equipment just falls off to the side.
Oh, did you not get the gloom set then?
No, I did not, and it just.
Oh yeah,
it just
that's a
killed
good
me.
thing as well. If you kill
Right there, look.
Oh god.
It floats right in the corner, and it's just a bastard.
If you kill Yurt, use the gloom set over the fluted set. It's the exact same, except the gloom set has it has an extra resistance. I think it's
plague.
Plague resistance. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, but
so there you go. Another top.
there is enemies in this swamp, and don't be fooled by the little scorpion three-headed fuckers. When they vomit, they can actually break your equipment. And because you're wearing the silver bracelets and the silver bracelets and the silver cornet, they don't have a lot of durability. So you will easily get fucked, and you don't want that. So,
as far as I'm aware as well, you don't get the effect of an item that you're wearing if it's broken. As far as I'm aware, if the silver bracelets break, you don't get the 20% soul gain.
Yeah. So
there's a good thing.
So what you want to do is you just want to take them out as fast as possible. And to be honest, I love the spell Soul Ray. It casts so much faster than any of the fire spells, especially Fire Spray, which you would think would cast really fast, plus you get mobility with it. No, Soul Ray is good, plus it can penetrate through enemies. In this area, it's almost useless. It has the same amount of damage as what Soul Arrow did at the start, and that's not a lot for like a high area when you're using it through the game. But you just have to be careful. You have to really, what I'd done when I was going through the first part of Latry was I would look down to like see if there was any, like from the light that was shining off your character, look down to see if there was any drops. You don't really do that here, but you might want to turn the brightness up on your TV, I would suggest. That is a definite thing, because it has, as Tony would call it, a piss filter.
Adjust your brightness and contrast levels so you can see what you're walking on.
Yeah, that's like that, as you can see there. I'm just taking out those guys, don't want them near me. Up this bit here, there is going to be a Black Phantom, and if you've not already seen me do it, you want to equip the Grave Robber Ring, which you do get before you go into the Adjudicator fight when you walk across the beam. It's so useful. It only works in Black Phantoms. It's potentially just an upgraded version of the Thief Ring, but only works for Black Phantoms, and it is incredibly useful. Really, this area is just a pain. This here is the bit where I cunningly made up the plan of Soul Remains. There is...
Now, what happened here was the fact that when he was doing this part, he
I'm talking about. Never mind.
just threw me off.
Fuck's sake. Continue.
Right. The point is, Gary died here at this point because when he tried to lock on to the gargoyle to your right, he ended up like
moving back, but not in this run. But in the other run I did, when you lock on, you move back, you move to the side a little. So I done that, panicked, went off the edge. But as you see me throughout, Soul Remains there. You really, the best thing for this area, if you're just so cautious, a very cautious player, and you don't have somebody watching your back to remind you of things, look out things, they are the best thing that you could possibly have, because it's just like an eraser, isn't it, really? Just like, oh, throw this out just in case when you're not sure. And it's like that area there is like this whole bridge here, that whole bridge is just terrible. And when you're going up these walkways as well, remember that gargoyles fly around them. Don't try and look at them or lock on them. You will fall off. As you see me there, I'm holding my shield up just in case anything shows up, and you do see them, they actually do show up, they get stuck in the wall. What you really want to do here is Archstone out. You'll collect Archstones, and you only want to use them at certain points through the game. Archstone in here, you don't have to do it, but I suggest that you do it. And as you can see there, the gargoyles are stuck. Archstone out of there immediately. I'm like, no fighting them here, I don't want to die. It's just a waste if I do. But Archstoning is, people use it as like a way of farming. They use it to like farm up souls and jump out the world rather than because there's no bonfires to like war.
And there's no homeward spell in this game as far as I'm aware either.
There is actually. It's a miracle. Yeah, but
it's in Darkness as well.
But you don't. They're just potentially for like the run I was doing. It was just to like Archstone out when I do a 3-1 for the first time. Was it 3-1? No, 4-1 for the first time when I got the Crescent Falchion stuff.
Just to speed things up.
Yeah, just to speed things up, and it equally means that I don't have to do the Adjudicator fight. It means I can come back to that. It means you keep it for points where you feel as though you're not sure, and that's what is easily pointed out for. But
so now we're coming up to the Man-Eater boss fight, and you'll see exactly how it is that we do it.
Oh now, yeah, one other thing I want to point out is once you get those the 2 chains down and that big thing falls, those little scorpion things will be there. So if you're going to like farm again in this area, which is great for farming by the way, you don't want to be here, you just want to get around it as fast as possible, get up the stairs and done.
Okay, so we're going to leave it there, and
the Black Phantom,
we already mentioned that at the beginning.
Oh yeah,
and remember to wear the ring for the extra spell slot if you're
you see me
following
there.
our build.
Boom.
And we should probably post the final build stats and that in the description and that, so that they can actually see what it was that we're running in the end. But so wear the ring gives you the extra spell slot.
Yeah, this here will be.
You see the stun lock.
Yeah, this builds up to the man-eater fight. Very intense fight, I won't lie. One of the hardest fights you come across when you're doing any Demon Souls run. I'm not sure, because if you're in a fight long with the man-eaters, they like hit their heads with their tails and it's like this glow that goes around them. They have like moonlight butterfly spells as well. It's a buff, which we've actually decided what we would say is a buff. You just don't want that there. Firestorm is the best way of getting rid of them. You have to go in with a lot of old spice and a lot of fresh spice, and I mean like a ton. I went in with like,
provided you're doing it this way, then go in like, you know, pockets to the brim.
Cut off their tails as well. If you're going 1v1 with them, cut off their tails. That's a very big hint.
So there you go guys, enjoy the tip, and we'll see you guys if there's anything else we need to mention.
Hi, so this part of the game was quite risky as well. There's a Black Phantom in here, which is like basically this game's equivalent to Man-Eater Mildred, and she can stunlock you with her like giant meat cleaver
Picture
weapon.
knife.
Yeah, it's the one that the Adjudicator uses, so you want to watch out for that. Plus, as well as every time you go to fight her, you can never tell with this game because like the invisible ledges and stuff in these games.
Yeah, some of the textures overlay and like you can't roll in this.
You can't
Dark
roll in
Souls,
this
you
place.
can roll in the swamp. When you go to roll in this swamp, you end up doing the little
One massive hint
stagger
is
thing.
don't even bother using Firestorm. Don't go up there as well. The small insects will kill you. You just want to get through this area as fast as possible. And it's like over there you can. There's some NPCs that you can talk to and stuff like that. But
use that as your burn. Actually, you can see over there in the distance. There's 4 torches. Use that as your burn. That's the direction you want to go in. Essentially, that is the way out of the level.
If you don't know this, you're making a faith build up there where the slugs are to the left. There
is the moonlight
sword. You have to go all the way around. If you actually want us to do a guide or something, or like just
that ignores shields. The moonlight sword as well.
Yeah,
so
the blind actually.
Blind ignores shields as well.
Yeah, it ignores armor and shields. I think.
But yeah, if it wasn't for Warden, you'd have died there because those things do a ton of damage.
Yes, they actually do.
They do a ludicrous amount of damage.
Even with the Crescent Falchion, I think it had it at like
those things do the equivalent. Those things do the equivalent damage without Warden is what Havel does to you in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So they do those things every single time you fight one of them. You're fighting a mini Havel.
Yeah, it's
the same damage. It's just it's unreal.
Thing as well is like this area is good. It's got like a lot of items in it, but nothing
was vital to
yeah exactly.
And we already got enough souls, and for the soul packets that we missed out, we've probably made back twice as much from the extra souls.
We are a very good level for this area.
Plus as well, the silver bracelets, you won't have to worry about soul packs. If you can get them, then good, go for it. But don't risk like yourself. Don't strain yourself over it.
Just like we did, you want to fly through this area as quick as you can. The first time I played through this area, I'm not even gonna lie, I got lost for about an hour and a half in this area. I fucking hated every second of it.
Yeah, you guys hate Blighttown. This is harder, isn't it?
This is only harder than Blighttown for me because it's less familiar, but it is harder in the sense that there is no...
Oh yeah. Watch this Firestorm.
Yeah, I mean.
So you can see that this boss was not
wrecked.
Hard whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now, as I said, because we're doing this. This is only 5. This is 5-2. Because we've left this area to like a later stage of the game than what it really should have been done.
This is meant to be the last level in the game.
Yeah, but I mean, like the way that I done Demon Souls the first time was just every world stage 1, every world stage 2, every world stage 3.
That's how I done it.
But because in this time we've done everything, and now we're going to 5-2 after we've taken on the Dragon God and that. We've got Firestorm. We're much more potent at this point, so we're in a very, very, very good position for one of the most likely areas in the game to die in besides Latria.
Yeah, when we first got here, it was I had done a Deathless run. I died the fluke with the Phantom here in the swamp, and this was an R run. And it just pissed me off. So when we got to Garl Vinland, who you will see here, who protects the...
Garl Vinland, the equivalent of Paladin Leroy.
Yeah, he's fucking solid, and he just guards there.
He's solid, like... He's difficult because he backs off into the swamp.
Tony asked me. Tony asked me, how was I going to beat him? I can't hit him because the Dark Shield has it just blocks spells.
Yeah, the Dark Silver Shield.
This is how I actually bet him. And we're going to record your reaction.
Nah, I know. Tony told me how you wait for him to attack and then...
Basically, we baited out his attacks and then used Firestorm.
Plus, if you can get the Firestorm behind them as well, that actually works, believe it or not.
A lot of the time when we first done Garl Vinland, all he kept doing was just running away and healing, so you really need to kill him as quickly as you possibly can.
Yeah, Gary'd already died in this playthrough at that point anyway, so...
No in this playthrough.
No in this one, but in that playthrough where he did die, he'd already died at Garl Vinland before, so we just practiced, and I think we get pretty good at parrying him, but there's the point that after you do so much damage to him, like via parries and that, he backs away all the way down to... What's her name? Lady what?
It's Astrea. Something... It's
Lady Astrea?
Yeah, she.
But he backs down towards her and he heals, and he's hard to get by when he backs
hint as
down.
well, guys. Even though she doesn't actually like hit you, she has a ton of health and she is fucking hard to kill. Speak to her.
She can hit you, right? There's 3 ways you can kill her really easily. You can kill without even going past Vinland. You can stay at the top and you can pick her off with arrows. You can kill Vinland and you can go down and you can fight her where she uses spells similar to Wrath of God to do damage to you. Or instead of fighting her, you can simply walk up after you've killed Garl Vinland. When you walk up to her, she just basically commits suicide and gives you her soul.
She's lost a protector, lover, her companion, so she actually...
Yep,
she just
goes,
kills herself. And
she knows she's gonna die.
It's like Quaylag's sister. It's really fucking sad.
It's as if she goes.
She's a bit of. It's like a combination between Quaylag's sister and Rhea Thorland.
Yeah, it's actually.
It's like I like how she kills herself. So
the thing is as well is it's like if you go into the wiki and stuff like that, you can actually go back and fight Garl Vinland and get his weapon. It's the heaviest weapon in the game, and you can go back. I think you need White World or Black. I think it's Black World Tendency. And if you go back there, you can actually fight the Black Phantom and get it. But it's you have to actually look that stuff up for yourself. I don't know too much about it, and believe it or not, this was the third time I ever completed the game.
Yeah. Alright guys, so we're back in World 1-3. This is pretty straightforward. We're going to run through this, take on the Penetrator, and we'll have Bjorn Twin Fangs to help us because we saved them earlier on. So we'll let you guys enjoy this, and if there's anything else significant, we'll chime in as per usual. Alright guys, it's coming up towards the end of the video, and we didn't want to talk over the last few minutes because Tony has picked perfect background music to go with the final serenade of this game, shall we say. So we want you guys to just sit back and absorb that. Of course, this has been one hell of a challenge. Gary's gave it several tries. We've spent quite a lot of time labouring over the build, which we'll put in the description, of course, so you guys can see how we actually beat the game without dying. And once again, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks again for coming to the channel, and if you've never seen any of our stuff before, of course, welcome. But thanks a lot, guys, and we will, I suppose, talk to you in the next video. Anything you guys want to wrap up on quickly before the next sketch music kicks in?
Well, we've got our bit at the end, so we'll speak a little bit more in detail what we're going to do at the end with the next videos, and that's about it, really. Yeah. I'd say.
Alright guys, well, thanks for watching this, and we hope you enjoyed this deathless, complete 100% run of Demon Souls.
Yeah, and if you've actually watched the video right through, that is a great help, and I am the Knight.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, guys. See you next video.
You